Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Bova Builds, and we're back with another speed build video. The last in a series of speed build videos that we have for our Twitch Livestream Zoo, the Franklin County Metropark Zoo. It's been so long since we started this zoo that I've almost forgot what we called it in the first place. But we're almost done. We're doing the last habitat build, and this habitat is for the giant panda, one of the standout show-stopping animals from the base game pack of Planet Zoo. I know it's a long time coming, and I've honestly never actually built a habitat for the giant panda, so I figured what a great way to end off the zoo than to use an animal that I've never used before, which the giant panda is a great showstopper. It's a great crown jewel for any zoo, right? It's kind of what every zoo is kind of like built onto, right? They will look at this giant panda and think that that is the epitome of conservation status. It is exactly the mission statement. They are the icon for the global trade of animals and the global conservation effort of animals. So to have one in your zoo is prestigious, right? So what better way to finish our zoo than with a prestigious animal like the giant panda? And actually, speaking of giant pandas, this build is based off of the Adelaide Zoo in Australia. I think it's in Australia. It's the second oldest Australian zoo. This Adelaide Giant Panda Forest design that I'm basing this off of is actually one of the world's leading exhibits for the iconic and endangered giant panda species. The design of the Panda Forest embodies this, the Adelaide Zoo's core principles of environment, education, conservation, and research, and it redefines the concept of a zoo in the 21st century, as a contemporary conversation of organization with, breeding and research programs. Which I know sounds like a mouthful, but honestly, the big core tenets of what this build is about is building and kind of a faux outdoor-indoor environment, right? So it's more of a gazebo, more of an outdoor shelter than it is an actual indoor enclosure, right? So this just has a bit of shelter from the rain, but not so much the wind and stuff like that. So you'll see in the final piece there that it's not even an indoor habitat or indoor building at all. It's more of an outdoor piece. And it has two big, beautiful indoor areas for the pandas to rest, relax, recuperate in, but it also lets the guests come in and see the animals. And, the panda is one of those animals that is so desensitized to living with humans, right? To be in the zoo environment, that I actually looked at this and I thought, I don't really need the one-way glass. They're very comfortable. They're very calm. Most animals in the conservation environment are calm around people. So much so that the pandas are probably super desensitized to human interaction. So I figured, having the two-way glass wasn't necessarily a big deal. So as you can see here, I'm kind of working on the two indoor sleeping pens. Now I designed them to be separated in case that we were trying to do a breeding program, like one of the pandas can get pregnant or is about to raise a cub, and we kind of wanted to still observe that while separating it from the other female or the male. Which is something you can traditionally see zoos doing, especially when they have a breeding program. They will oftentimes separate the pregnant female away from the rest of the pack or the rest of the animals so that they can observe and they can treat and they can be around the animal and make sure it's safe while it's trying to rear its young. So that's kind of the story, right? That's the story of what this is. It's part of the zoo, it's part of the conservation efforts, and as the final piece of the mountain trail wing, what with the ibex, the macaque, the Amur leopard, and the panda, it was just kind of giving us a really awesome conservation-esque feel. And it's definitely something that I want to be looking into with the next build series that I do. So to be perfectly transparent, I do all of my speed builds first through a live stream on Twitch, and I love Twitch a lot. Don't get me wrong, I like Twitch, but I kind of want to move my live streams from Twitch to YouTube. So if anybody has any recommendations for one or the other, let me know in the comments, because I'm on the fence. I think it's a good idea to move things over to YouTube, but I kind of like Twitch. We're getting some steam there on Twitch. but obviously the YouTube account has a lot more followers, a lot more engagement. But does YouTube actually do well with live streams? That's really the question that I have. Because a lot of the times when I'm seeing a live stream on YouTube, it's kind of like something that you stumble on halfway through. Like it doesn't tell you, it doesn't let you know. You can't obviously find live streams, and obviously the platform is not built for live streams, so it'd be very difficult for us to start and end our live streams there, at least compared to Twitch, right? But if anybody has more of an insight on that, let me know in the comments. I'd love to get all sides of this conversation going. But let's get back to the build. So I'm working with bamboo here, and the bamboo is something that I thought would be a fantastic element to add on into this build, not only because it's thematic with the pandas, but because with the conservation effort, we can look at this as a way of saying, hey, we've used the bamboo that we are growing in our forest to do the lighting. Like it's all one-to-one eco-friendly. Like we're growing our own bamboo, we're using that bamboo in the structures. It just kind of shows that we care about the environment. And I think that's a really cool idea. Another thing that I'm doing in here is I'm trying to move away from the grid pieces. The grid pieces are kind of a crutch, I think. And that's just for me, right? Everybody loves the grid pieces, and if you can use them, you should use them. But I wanted to challenge myself. I wanted to get away from the grid pieces, and I wanted to try to do a bit more freeform pieces and try to build a zoo enclosure based around freeform pieces. You have a lot more flexibility and control with them, especially when it comes to building your larger frames and your larger structures. So that's something I tried to do here, and I think I'm going to try to do that again with my next build series. So let's talk about that. What's next? The next thing that we're going to do here is kind of touch up some of the liminal spaces between the habitats. I think we have at least one or maybe even two more streams ahead of us on Twitch. I want to finish up the series on Twitch for sure, where we go and investigate the areas between the habitats, so we can clean up, we can polish up all of the dead space between the habitats, so we can get the zoo ready for the Steam Workshop. I want to get it ready for the Steam Workshop so that everybody can play with it and explore and get a hands-on view of what we have here. So if anybody wants a tutorial on what to do with those liminal spaces, the in-between places, the middle ground between habitats, enclosures, exhibits, guest areas, and what do you do with those blank spots between those areas? I'm going to take a look at that. I'm going to go into detail with some of our larger blank spaces on the map and really give them some love, because they really need it. You can tell. I actually, when I did my 2023 wish list video, I was going through the zoo and I was doing some background footage, like just walking around the zoo as my background footage. And I kept noticing that I was running into like some blank spots where I was like, wow, that I need a bush there, or a trash can, or maybe a rest area. There's something that needs to be here that's definitely not here. Some fine tuning, some fine polishing. So I think it'd be a good idea if we spent at least one stream just cleaning up those areas. And I know they're fast. I mean, it's not a hard thing to fill up those spaces, but it's definitely something that's worth your while if you're able to do so. So what are we doing here? We're working on the backstage elements. I wanted to get some heating, some cooling, some areas that we were able to separate the animals if need be, and also keep the keepers safe. Now I know the panda is not exactly the most vicious animal, but with every animal there is a certain level of danger, not just to the keepers, but to the animals themselves. So you want to be able to separate them and respect them and keep them safe from each other. That's something I wanted to look at as I was building my backstage areas. So what are we doing after this zoo? Once all the liminal spaces are filled up and once the zoo is put onto the Steam Workshop, once we put a nice little bow on this, what's next? Well, I want to come back to Planet Zoo. I want to give Planet Zoo another shake at it. But in the meantime, I need to just de-stress. I need to de-stress and clear my mind, clear my palate. And I want to play around with another park builder. You guys might be familiar with this. It's made by Frontier. It's called Jurassic World Evolution 2. That's right, baby. we're going to dinosaur times. It's gonna be dinosaur times in here, and this little boy won't shut the fuck up about dinosaurs. And he won't shut the fuck up about dinosaurs for quite some time, because we are gonna play Jurassic World Evolution 2 and build a park there. I'm so excited. I have so many ideas for how to build in there. I wanna do one Jurassic Park Operation Genesis style build where we have a budget, we have to play through the game proper, just like they did back in the old days. But I also want to do a sandbox build where we're able to like do the Jeep tour guide thing and just really explore and experience some of the world's most exciting Paleolithic megafauna. Wouldn't that be cool? I have such a crazy idea. I can't wait to show you guys in the upcoming weeks. I'm excited. Are you excited? Because that one's gonna live on YouTube. But that's kind of all I have for you right now. Enjoy the speed build, grab a drink, sit back, relax, enjoy yourself. I'll be back towards the end of it when we go to the live section of the zoo, so we can take a look at, the finished piece. So enjoy. You guys, let me know how you feel about this thing in the comments. I respond to every single comment, so by all means, let's start this conversation right. Anyways, I'll be back. Hang out. See you in a minute.
So we're here. We have our first person perspective. We are a guest in our zoo. We're taking a look up here. We got some nice wood statues of some smiling pandas. They look like the panda cookies. You ever had panda cookies? They remind me of panda cookies. We're getting underneath this big open structure here, and look at that. 2 sleepy pandas. Ah, I love it. They're so sleepy. Aw, that one's zonked out with its mouth open. And this one is not. Did you know that? You ever notice that they sleep differently? A little bit differently than each other? Like this one's got its mouth open and that one doesn't. That's so cool. We have this big overhead structure here, and that's the doorway to the keepers area. It's just a little hallway to get the keepers back into the area. And looks like they can read up here and clip right into the structure. Love to see it. Love to see it. I'm sure these security beams work. But that's okay. Let's take a look at their yard. And we're coming out here. We have the Amur leopard from our last Speedbuild over here. And that is a staff center on this side. We're gonna take a walk. We're gonna take a walk alongside this lovely lake we have going on here. More of a pond than a lake, I think, but just love having a bit of like architecture, you know, right here with the natural area. Oh, let's like spin around here. Sorry, you got me a whiplash from all of this like dead end out here, but we can check out and see. Oh, look at you! You're using the climbing structure at an angle, you weirdo. We got some chimes. We got a panda in here. We have a peacock. I like the idea of just every now and then tossing in if you have a peacock enclosure, it's a good idea to just kind of like scatter these bad boys around. Sometimes the peacocks will get out, you know, and maybe they'll just go and hang out with one of the other animals. Like this peacock is just kind of hanging out with one of the pandas. Like whatever, right? Oh no, are you gonna do this? Are you gonna like play for us? Play for us the song of your people. Aw, whatever. Okay, so he doesn't want to play. That's fine. Bye-bye. Go ahead. Go play with your structure. So we have this like big, nice yard for the animals to play in. All right, we have these like sliding gates. I like to think that the keepers could just like slide them back and forth to let the pandas in and out of their enclosure. Oh my God, you are loud. Hi. Yeah, I'm trying to record something here. That's cool. You do you, though. But yeah, this is like a big, just natural yard. We've seen these plenty of times. We have these logs, these, oh God. That panda just rushed me. We have these logs, we have these natural grasses, a kind of a bare bones zoo. And we just have some animals playing with their enclosure. I just wanted this to be like, feel like a zoo. This felt like of something that a zookeeper could handle. Like a zoo, your average city zoo could handle a panda area like this. Are you gonna play for us? They never play with us. They look at these chimes. They don't do anything with the chimes. Is there even an animation for the chimes? Hey, Frontier, is there anything that these things do with the chimes? So thanks everybody for watching. This was the last of the Speedbuild series for our Twitch Livestream Zoo, the Franklin County Metropark Zoo. We have like a couple more live streams for this. We're obviously going to take a look at some of the middle areas, the liminal spaces, doing some tutorial videos for those, maybe even doing a zoo tour once we're all said and done so we can get a first-person perspective and a good look at the zoo as a whole. And afterwards, we have new videos. So thanks everybody for tuning in, watching the live streams. Those are on Twitch every Tuesday up until we're moving on to the next project. You will see here on the next project when it appears. So once those videos go live, you realize like we're not doing that anymore. But thanks so much for watching. Thanks very much for liking and subscribing and letting me know how you guys feel about the video in the comments below. And as always, I am your swim coach, I am your tutor, I am your best friend, I am your local librarian, I'm Butt Punch Bova, I am Bova Builds. And I'll see you guys next time.